everybody, and welcome to our Harvest of the Week. My name is Diana Osberg, and I am a dietetic intern here at the Gerald L. Ignace Indian Health Center, and I have Nico here assisting me in our presentation today about red onions. So it is mid-spring, which is a perfect time to start planting onions here in Wisconsin, and there are many different types of varieties to choose from for onions, but red onions themselves set them apart from the other varieties thanks to their reddish purplish color, where we can thank the naturally occurring chemical called anthocyanin for that. So as you can see, it contributes to the reddish purplish color here, and it's also, you can find it in many other types of foods like the red cabbage as well as blueberries, but as Nico cuts into it, you can see that the reddish purplish color is really just on the outside of the onion because it is white still here on the inside. That's just like every other onion. So if you choose to grow your own onions, what's great about it is that as the bulb in the ground continues to grow, it's actually going to sprout these green long sprouts here that you can actually harvest and cut off of the onion while it's growing, and the bulb will continue to grow. You just have to wait until they're about 6 to 8 inches long to cut them and leave about 1 or 2 inches of growth above the soil. And you can chop up these little green onions, which are also known as scallions, and add them to salads, make like a salsa with it, or add it to omelets as well. And as I said, as you cut off these scallions as it's growing, the bulb will continue to grow, so you can eventually harvest the bulb later. If you do choose to purchase the onion in the store, then Nico will go ahead and tell you about the buying process.
So when you're looking for onions, you want to, of course, avoid onions that have any mushy or brown spots, but you also want to look for heavy onions. A good onion is a heavy onion. And then when you're storing onions, onions can actually store pretty well. They can last you about 1 to 2 months, but you want to make sure you do this in a cool, dark, and dry place. So something like your garage or your basement is a good choice to store your onions because that'll make them last the longest.
Yeah, so when you're preparing onions, they're really popular in like Indian, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern dishes, and they're usually eaten raw in salads, sandwiches, and added to dips or salsas. Now, chopping an onion can be pretty daunting for people, and Nico is going to go ahead and show us how to do it. So chopping an onion can be pretty annoying for some people because it can, as you chop an onion, it releases a chemical that irritates your eyes and can make you tear up. Now, there are many different ways to avoid the chemical being released and getting into your eye, and the first one is, you can wear goggles while you're chopping, but not a lot of people have, goggles in their kitchen utensils. Another way of helping the onion not release so many chemicals is you can freeze the onion for a couple of minutes in the freezer before you start chopping it, or you can also, and you also have to make sure that your knife is very sharp, because if you chop with a dull knife, it creates a lot of friction, which causes more chemicals to be released into the air. So make sure that your knife is very sharp when you're chopping onions so that you can reduce the amount of chemicals that are released. But don't be scared of the chemicals being released, because it's really more of a defense mechanism that the onion is doing while it's being chopped up. So we featured a recipe on our handout here called the Quick Pickled Red Onions that contains only 5 ingredients, and it'll be ready in 30 minutes, and you can use that recipe on salads, sandwiches, on tacos, or even on barbecue pulled pork sandwiches. So I definitely recommend trying it out. Onions are very good for you because they have vitamin C and copper, which helps absorb iron while you're eating foods, as well as collagen synthesis, which helps with tissue growth and repair, and your gum health. So thank you so much for joining us for our Harvest of the Week, and we hope you enjoy your day.